Hi there, everybody, and welcome back to the next replay commentary where we're going to be going over some of the stuff. This match isn't necessarily a loss that we had, which is what a lot of people wanted to see, kind of a hard game that we ended up losing and how I was able to adapt and maybe make it a more winnable situation. But it was a very, very hard game for me personally. During the first half, I did a whole lot of nothing, and I ended up actually contributing to this game being way harder until I was able to switch later on and bring it back and then come into my own and kind of adapt to the situation that we were in. Which was, this is a lot better for us. So that's really great. Before we get started, though, I wanted to go ahead and say we are doing the giveaway. And for those of you that are subscribed, I would like to ask you to please go ahead and comment down below your Discord name and type the word giveaway after it. So that way I have a chance to kind of go through everybody and pick two people at random that will receive their Battle Pass on Monday and Sunday. We'll be doing it in kind of a Cash App transaction type thing where I'll end up gifting the money over so that way you can go ahead and purchase the battle pass for yourself. Anyway, without further ado, we'll go ahead and get into this so I don't burn off more of your time. Starting out, we want to go ahead and press tab. We are Hulk Thor is the tank matchup, and then our supports are going to be Luna Snow, Invisible Woman for us. Pretty good situation for us. Iron Man and Storm are our DPS players, but I think here at the start, it's not really their picks that are the issue, it's more of me. Overall, to go ahead and start out, we end up getting this kill in the group, but it's super duper good to identify here that this was much less because we did a lot of the good things that were good, and mostly because this guy did something that was really bad, for lack of a better term. This guy probably never dies here. There's no reason to. He's not being pressured by anything except for flyers. He's never supposed to walk forward in this situation, obviously. Hulk is just not even there to pressure him anyway. It's very lucky that I ended up getting the kill. Go ahead and start out. We can go ahead and take a look at the ults. As we can see, Groot's already at 50, and our Storm's already at 50. Luna's already at 50. So we're about to get into a situation where things are going to get pretty tense here in a minute. We push the Strange back. That positioning of mine, not really my proudest work, but it ends up working out for us in that moment. Hulk jumps down to help harass and pressure. He jumps away. We honestly stay for a bit longer than I would have liked to. And this situation I want to go over and talk about a little bit. So just primarily, we'll let it play for a little bit longer. So notice how I'm backing in with these two tanks. Notice how their team is not really able to kind of come in and swoop in and help because they're not playing anything that can really get here very quick. But notice how the unfortunate situation that we've also got, though, is that we have two flyers. And I made a mental note of this a minute ago. When in this building, this goes for Magik and Thor, they can't come in and help me and pressure. If Strange walks in here, I'm pretty much just relying on the Hulk player to come in and help me. But they have Hulk Groot, and unless I'm able to actually just hit everything and then they miss a lot, we get out damaged in this situation big time because Hulk doesn't hit that hard and we are low-ish. We're about to get this health pack, which is really nice, but they're not exactly unhealthy. So this is a really bad situation if they just both turn and go inside of this room and then backline shoves and then they keep the Storm and the Iron Man off. There's nothing I can do. I die and then they just take these stairs. Easy. And then even the Strange and Groot wrap and then they get pinched and then it's a really bad spot. But we'll go ahead and play it out. That's not what ended up happening, thankfully. But nonetheless, wasn't exactly a good idea of mine. We end up going back and they end up ulting. Pretty big situation as well. We can go ahead and talk about this. This is pretty bad too. Why? Well, kind of a similar situation. Luna Snow and Invisible Woman are quite far from me, and I didn't take any time to consider like where are they in comparison to me. They ult, so obviously they're going to want to probably back up. Especially with Thor being low, they're going to want to play these stairs so they can heal him, and then hopefully he can kite backward. Our Storm is here to kind of help me with this Groot. But ideally, they're probably not going to want to be here because what do we have? Hit scan 1, hit scan 2, hit scan 3. We have a Storm that is low HP. She probably dies here for sure, I would assume. This is a bad idea for me to just push him in here. This is never an angle that we'd kill. If anything, this doesn't do anything ever. There's nothing I accomplished by doing so. The best bet is for me to just walk backward. But we'll go ahead and play it out from over here and see how it goes. Okay. So, with backing up a little bit, We end up not dying, and we end up getting out. Storm ends up living as well for the moment. And she pops ult. But overall, this was just bad, and a lot of this is my fault based on like me just not helping our Hulk. Best bet, I maybe help the Hulk and I can help him kite back, but we didn't get a lot. We kind of got bailed out by our team here big time. We end up jumping down. We end up getting a lot of damage out here. They end up losing a lot of people, which is really nice. Could be worse. We made the best of a bad situation for sure because they misplayed. Really, 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 really good. Hulk ends up jumping back, and this is about the time that we should probably be kiting. Just make sure that we can go back up the stairs and be safe. Okay. Alright, this is actually... I actually don't mind this play so much, booping him back in. That was actually a much better showing for me. This is just... That's honestly just pretty unfortunate. I never even considered that they had a timing for the cooldown for the ult that was coming back up. Really unfortunate and sad that we ended up dying there. Definitely my bad. It's not a very good ult anyway. We're just popping it raw, and honestly, there's not a whole lot of people underneath us when that happens. Our team burns a lot of ults here. Most likely to try and save the touch to just see if they can get like a giant heroic play to just make sure they can stay a little longer. And oh my god, excuse me. It just didn't work out very well. A really, really bad play. And I think our storm ends up dying. They overcommitted a little bit and just stayed a little too long. And from here on, we're kind of just brought back and we're pushed out. I'm playing really timid. I'm really, really scared. I'm very uncomfortable in this situation. I'm not really sure what to do. Normally, the only times I'm ever playing Thor well is whenever they're not thinking about what I'm doing and they're punishing me for pretty much everything that I'm doing here. As of this point forward. Okay, here we boop the Strange. Pretty bad situation. The Punisher has a turret. I'm just going to eat this damage for free. Storm ends up getting a kill, which is nice. This is overall just a bad spot to be in. When playing and we watch the Strange and Groot walk up, rather than me moving forward whenever we go ahead and take a look, who is behind me? There's nobody. Hulk is coming, but Invisible Woman is low. If she walks up, there's a really, really good chance that she can die here. It's really, really bad. And I'm just sitting here alone. Not a care in the world. Hela's above me. I don't even know it yet. Our Storm is up there as well, but regardless, these guys are posturing to move forward. The Punisher is covering them. They have a Luna Snow behind. There's never a situation where I do anything other than die in this situation if I play it wrong, which, as we can see, I do because I didn't back up early enough. And we end up getting zoned off. We end up dying. And overall, we cost a very, very important situation. We can watch the fight play out. Invisible Woman pops ult. Storm pops ult, and they force the Luna ult. So overall, we win the exchange in terms of ults, I would say. But even still, like, they still have two very, very key ults. And we just didn't really get a whole lot out of it. Hela pops ult. This is pretty much a clear sight kind of situation. We don't have anybody that can deal with the Hela ult, especially because Iron Man is dead. Punisher pops ult. And again, it's just a big fat steamroll. We should have just backed up the second that we heard the Hela ult instead of sticking around at all. Just a really, really bad situation to be in. Okay. Here's kind of an interesting swap on my part. I swapped the Cap because I was thinking, you know, I'm not really doing anything. I'm a lot more comfortable on this character. Strange is probably the better pick for me here. Not really sure why I didn't play him, but just a really, really bad situation to be in. We end up diving. We try to disrupt the guy, but this is a really, really important thing to notice as well. Our team ends up going in. We get a Black Widow spot, but I'm just doing nothing. Like, I disrupted the Punisher, so he wasn't helping the fight, so that's really, really nice. But from here on, I kind of just don't do that much on Cap. I just run around, and I know what people are going to say. Captain America, oh, not a really good pick anyway. Cap's got a lot of utility that he can bring and can disrupt a lot, and that was kind of what I was thinking here. Kind of just break up their team comp, and it just... I wasn't doing enough. I actually think that I end up killing this Punisher here, which is super nice, but we can go ahead and take a look at this. While, yes, I kill Punisher, what is happening up here in our front line? Strange has made it through. He is ending up pressuring our Black Widow. Luna Snow is in a really bad spot. Invisible Woman's in a really bad spot. They're going to get collapsed on right here. And all of this is because I chose to go and fight the Punisher. Get the health pack. Look how much time I'm taking. This is terrible. This is absolutely horrible. I'm taking so much time to get back to this fight. I end up going in, punching this Cloak and Dagger. Getting not a whole lot for it. And then I just attempt to get out. Now, I pop ult here to kind of just try to make this touch go for as long as I possibly can. I'm not too upset about this part. I mean, it's not a good play, but I mean, it's the best one that I've done on Cap so far. We end up leaving. Again, situation of Hela pops ult. We jump down, try to harass, just do as much damage as we can to help our team. We chase down the Hela. I actually think we do end up getting a kill here. No, we don't. Yeah. Just overall a bad spot. We ended up going and targeting the Hela, but we're nowhere there to help our team whenever they need it the most. And they're just cruising on through. All in all, I would consider this pretty steamrolly so far. After the first touch, or the first point, we're just getting kind of rammed through. Not really a super duper good spot for me and my team to be in. And a lot of this is, again, we go ahead and hit tab. I've died 4 times. Black Widow's doing very well. Our Punisher's doing pretty decent. They're gapping the damage a little bit, although that doesn't always necessarily matter. Right here, I'm definitely the person to blame. My damage and damage block is just not doing all that great. I'm falling behind. We end up getting the Hela kill. Not a bad kill. It's a cleanup, but decent kill nonetheless. Really nice to pick up that one. Break the Namor utility. So this is a really interesting spot to be in. I don't know if do I dive here? I think I wait on the contact. Hulk dives, I dive. Let's go ahead and take a look. Where's the team standing? I took not nearly enough time to consider what's going on. Moon Knight's right here, and nobody's looking at him. This is a free kill for sure if he lands everything. Where am I at compared to the rest of the team? I don't even consider what cooldowns the other team has. I'm in the middle of them. And what could possibly happen here? Hela's behind me. I get stunned by Hela. Luna Snow's on top. I'm on top of Luna Snow. I get stunned by Luna Snow. Either way, I die. Doesn't matter. Either way, I'm dead. Hela's behind. Strange is behind. All it takes is either both of them to turn and kill me. And at which point, Strange is in no danger because Hulk is the only person that's going to be able to hit him. Moon Knight is about to disrupt this person up here on our top. So it's about to be quite the predicament that we really just don't want to be in at all. We'll go ahead and let it play out, though. So, while Moon Knight doesn't really get a kill, and he ends up actually getting fairly... he's not low or anything, but he just ends up making this Black Widow turn, so it's a one less person staring at this. I end up just straight up dying, because exactly like I said, I overcommitted, everybody turned on me, boom, death. No clue why I did that. It's just a really, really, really bad play. It's super unfortunate that that even happened. But regardless, because of this, their team ends up just rolling it through. And it's a really, really bad situation for me to be in. Hulk ends up ulting, just kind of try and get a little bit more of a hold out of it. Doesn't end up working all that great. Here I go. I end up diving. We dive the Luna Snow yet again. And second verse, same as the first. We dive. Nobody's there to help me because I end up going too late. And we end up losing a lot of ground here. I haven't been able to help the team at all. I swap over to Strange, but it's at this point, it's too late. End of the first half stats, definitely not too great. 6 deaths is a lot for a tank. To be in the situation, I was dead in 6 of the fights, and then that means I was just not present for any of those, for the most part. I died really early in all of these fights. I just wasn't present for any of them. I died first in all of these fights. Just really, really bad. Super not great. Not a good showing at all. But here in the second half, we actually end up swapping. We swap over with the Magneto. We allow him to swap with us. And from here on, it's a lot easier for me to kind of come into my own. Swapping over to Magik was definitely a good decision. I'm a lot more comfortable in my skin. Their comp isn't exactly super bad for my character at all. Moon Knight and Invisible Woman are both characters that you're able to one-shot. Cloak and Dagger, if they don't have their Dusk mode, is also a really good pick. We go over here to the top right, spin, disrupt the group, and our Black Widow gets a kill off of it. It's pretty good. Right here, we wait for the Venom to go in before diving. We dive with the Venom. We don't go too far. We don't go too crazy. We back up and get this health pack. Pretty good. Now, right here, I enjoy what I'm doing here a lot more, because what this is we're waiting for the contact to happen, and we're waiting on our cooldowns, but we're not afraid to charge something up to just make sure that we can pressure, get a little bit of ult charge. This is much better. If I would have done this on Thor, this would have been a much better play for our team. But Magneto is walking, and Strange is walking forward. He's actually postured facing away from Magneto. He's going to get a lot of free damage out of this. Groot's about to wall. But I'm a much bigger fan, regardless if we lose this exchange, that I'm just waiting and taking my time in a really good angle like this. I have a lot of options. I can just dip left for safety. I can dip right for safety. There's no world that Strange is able to catch up to me. Much, much better. And that's what I do. We dip left and we actually wait. We watch our Magneto go up and pick up. And right here, this is a little bit of a risky maneuver, and we ended up getting punished for it. I actually enjoyed the idea of trying to dive while they were, you know, being pressured up here ahead, but it just didn't end up working out, and our team ended up dying anyhow. So it could have been a lot better. Not the worst thing in the world. We come back off respawn. I think I was checking my phone while I was going through that door, but it's okay. Right here, much of the same. We end up taking this top part, and we see if we can pressure on this Hela, try to make her move and get a little bit uncomfortable. I think this is another situation where I might be waiting on contact. Right here, I see that the Venom dives, and I try to go help him. Cloak and Dagger ults, and it allows us to just kind of move freely and be a little bit more comfortable with what we're doing. We dash in, try to dump as much damage as we possibly can while backing up. Going ult for ult here is not too bad on their part. We're 65 on our ult, so we're coming up on it relatively soon. Trying to just do as much damage as we can to build up our ult gauge. Overall, still haven't done a whole lot in this half, but we do end up turning up. Really, really good kill in the Cloak and Dagger. Not bad at all. We move forward as we see that the Venom has made a lot of space, and now Magneto is going forward. We can make even more. Break the Yonk just to make sure. Back up, dash out, so that way we can get a little bit more HP. Groot really fumbles the ult. We go in, we help the Venom kill the Strange. Much better. Way better gameplay from this one. Even though we ended up dying on the play in question that I enjoyed a lot more, I at least liked the idea and the foundation that we built it off of a lot more than what we were doing on Thor, which is pretty much just pressing Thor Force and then throwing stuff and dying. So, much better. Dare I say it, I might have actually played this entire half better, even if we only had one tank, if I would have just played Magik, because I'm much more confident with that character if I'm not playing Strange. Right here, it was I'm not entirely sure what ends up going through my head. We do end up getting the kill because I don't get punished for it, which is really, really nice. And we end up picking off the other support as well. And now that they're both dead, this is just kind of a free invitation for us to help pressure with the Venom. It's much, much better, cleaner play. Dashing out to make sure, stepping up to the shield to get this extra HP before we ultimately decide that we want to re-aggress with the Magneto here. Drop Demon to break all three of the walls, super duper important. Dashing out here so we can pop ultimate and pressure the backline. Moon Knight jumping right there is really, really bad for me, but we ended up going ahead and burning the basic attack of the step disc early so that way we can get an extra one. But by doing that, we were able to force the ult out of the Invisible Woman, which is really nice. And our ult is going to end second because we popped it first, or second. Okay, not too bad. We dash through, pressuring the Groot. Not bad. Play behind the Venom and walk forward. And then there they have their invisible ult from the Loki. Here, same thing, dropping demons to make sure we can keep our stacks high if they just happen to walk into them. And now we're going to go and pressure their backline. Big fan of this play as compared to the one that we did earlier. Making sure that we're pressuring when our tanks are making contact and not making sure that we're the first at contact. Magik is not the best at that whenever you're coming from behind if you're trying to fight the backline, or the tanks from the backline. Really, really, really good push from us. We ended up getting a few kills and backing off to make sure we don't overheat and die. Here's the Psylocke. We end up following the Venom in, getting a little bit of extra damage as we go. This is a really, really, really optimistic play. Again, actually, let's go ahead and go over this. Now, this is bad for multiple reasons. Let's go ahead and just take a gander. I'm gonna let you guys do your Sesame Street vampire math really quick. How many enemies do they have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1 coming out of spawn. Where is my team compared to where their team is? And this is not their fault, by the way. This is all my fault. 1, 2, 3, 4 coming from spawn. Where am I? Picking daisies with their damages. Really, really bad. I should never leave here. If Strange turns, I'm dead. No clue what's going on. Our Black Widow's up here, so the only pressure that's ever happening here is that their Black Widow is fighting this. Doesn't really matter, though. Overall, this is just a really, really sloppy play. And honestly, they get robbed by not killing me here. In fact, they didn't even hit me, for the most part. Strange jumps down, and I think this is actually to his detriment. Venom dives. We end up moving up here to the right. Getting a free kill on the Loki, and also picking up a kill on the Invisible Woman. Not bad. Dropping Demon as we go to, again, build those stacks. Really, really important to keep your bonus HP high on Magik, because obviously you get so much out of it. Big dash, killing the Strange. And now, before we overheat, we are just going to start pressuring to make sure that our team gets as much distance as they can. Another big uppercut on the Black Widow player. Dropping the Demon again to keep the stacks. And we fall. Pop ult here, just again, to get as much pressure as we can. Regardless if we die, we just popped an ult on their part. Not bad at all. Dashing out to make sure there's obviously no room that we ever get a kill. We did our job. We got the ult. Venom pushes in. We go in to help him. We pressured the Black Widow. Now pressuring the Cloak and Dagger. Overall, much better showing. At the end of the second part of the game, we end up taking ace. We do a lot more damage. We're a lot more consistent. We get our picks where we can, and we end up winning our ones a lot of the time. Really, really, really good. Definitely some stuff that we were sloppy on, but we definitely came back into the game, and we re-established our mindset, and we're able to kind of repair our mental a little bit, because I was kind of disheartened by how bad I was playing in the first half. So it's a much, much, much better showing. We'll go ahead and go in. This one, we're on defense. We end up keeping the Magik pick. And taking a look, we still have the exact same team comp, and they end up keeping the same thing, except they swap to a Namor in place of their second tank. Not a bad idea to kind of try and shut me down. Maybe a Penny Parker would be a little bit better, but Namor is going to do a lot more damage. Really, really, really good read on the Psylocke. We end up going and helping the Black Widow get another kill. Right here, we go and we just attempt to pressure the backline. I do believe we actually end up getting the pickup on the Cloak and Dagger and just getting out. Really big uppercut on the Strange. He ends up hitting the lip of that, and he ends up taking an L. Really, 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 really good. Here we ended up bouncing up. I think that the Namor doesn't have the bubble, and he ends up taking the uppercut and dying. This is a really, really silly situation of the map actually helps me. This not being able to land on that spot actually keeps me in the air long enough to kill the Star-Lord. Super good uppercut here. Remember, it's not always about the damage that you do. Just because you're not going to kill him with this uppercut doesn't mean it's not great, because he can't back up when in this. He's going to slide off by backing up, and he's either going to stay in place or he's going to have to move to the side to try and get out. And that's exactly what happens, and he ends up taking another death. Overall, pretty good round. It's a really, really, really quick one, obviously, but it could not be worse for them. That's no distance at all, practically, that we have to go in order to, you know, heading out into the next part. Here we are in the last part of the match. Again, much of the same team comp. Nothing really changes on our end. They end up picking up the Groot again because the Namor pick didn't work out. And overall, they kind of just give up. They need to be playing way further forward for how little space that we have to take here. I'm not entirely sure why they didn't move forward. We go in on the Moon Knight here, And while we don't exactly get a kill on him, we put him in a really bad spot. We drop the demon. And that time is a really, really, really good pick for us. It just establishes a whole lot of pressure, and they all back up because of our tank diving in the backline. All in all, not a bad game if we go ahead and look over the stats. While they are not always the most important thing in the game is what your stats are, they are a good indicator of if you are doing things at least somewhat right, as they will be a lot higher if you're doing kind of the right calls. But as you can see, in the end, it doesn't always matter if you're getting really high stats, because their Moon Knight ended up losing this match, even though his stats were higher than the rest of our team. Not a bad game. We ended up coming out with 18 final hits, 28 and 7, and a lot of those deaths came out of the first half, as we went over already. I think 5 or 6 of them did. And not a bad showing at all. We ended up MVPing. Pretty good game at the end of the day. But with all that being said, I am actually going to start going over other VOD reviews once I hit Grandmaster. Currently, we are in Diamond 3, but once I hit GM, I would love to go over some replays as requested by some of you guys. I was initially going to wait until I hit a higher rank, but there's been such an outstanding uproar for people to want me to actually look over their stuff. While I don't know if I'm exactly the most qualified, if I can help, then I would love to. I love you guys so much. Thank you again for 6K. You are the absolute greatest. I don't think that we're quite there, but I'm pretty sure it'll be there by the time I wake up in the morning. Anyway, I love you. Make sure, again, Discord name and type the word Battle Pass on the end of it so we can go over the giveaway, and I can go ahead and pick 2 of you guys to have a chance to win. I love you. Have a good night. See you soon. Later.